guys, welcome back to my channel and to another vlog or video. So I'm doing a sit down and talk video today. I've not done one in like the longest time, and today I am going to be dragging some people like Tiger Generator. Anyway, on a more serious note, I'm going to be talking about some things that I feel that nobody should do, like nobody should be doing anymore. Like as we head towards the end of 2021, these are things that I feel like just drop it. Don't take it with you into the end of the year. If you take it into the end of 2021, that is when you want to carry it to enter the next year. Like, let's just drop it now and drop it for good. If you're interested in some of these things, please keep on watching. But before we jump into this video, my friend said I'm always telling you guys to subscribe, like, and leave a comment, but I never tell you guys to share. So I am begging, please share this video with your friends and family and let everybody partake of the potato that is potatoing. You get me? Let's jump right into this video. Okay guys, so some of these things I'm going to be sharing, I feel that there are things that quite a lot of people get upset about, and quite a lot of people also feel that they are not too good. So I'm sure that a lot of people will relate with me, and if you cannot relate, that means that you're on this table and I am dragging you. So feel free to take your drag in peace. So the first thing I want to talk about today, let me start off mild. The first thing I'll talk about today is the gym. So let me sit very well. So you know that a lot of you know that I went back to the gym this year. I even shared a video, a outdoor workout routine video. I'm going to link it up here or maybe here so that you guys can go and watch it. If you have not, you're going to enjoy it, by the way. So it surprises me that some people go to the gym and the only thing they go to do at the gym is to run commentary on other people at the gym. Like, how rude can you be, man? Like, you go to the gym, you see somebody walking out and you go and meet the person and like, sorry sister, what are you doing at the gym? As I'm looking at you like this, you cannot be more than a size 8 or 10. Why are you not here? If my arms were as thin as your arms, I will not be at the gym. I will be enjoying my life somewhere. Really? Can you keep quiet? Imagine if that person turns to you and says, because I don't want to be a size 20 like you are, that's why I'm at the gym. You run to Twitter and then you start crying, they are fat shaming you, body positivity, blah blah blah, and this. Let's see, the thing is, let's learn to mind our business. It's not odd if you see this person at the gym, even if you feel like, oh, the person looks good, just keep quiet. You don't need to talk about it. It is not important. The person doesn't want to hear what you think. Like, just you go to the gym and one person is telling you, why are you doing sit up? Your stomach is not big. Why are you doing your just zip it. Keep quiet. Now let's move. I think that one thing I also want to talk about is this people's idea of what feminism is. Now a lot of people immediately they see that you, or they hear you say you're a feminist, what they automatically think that you are saying is that you do not like men, you do not like a traditional family, you do not like children, you're against childbirth and all of those things. Now somebody says, oh, I'm a feminist, I'm fighting for equal rights, women and men, you know, I want better balance and stuff. And people begin to say, oh, she don't put us say she don't want marry, she don't put us say she don't want man. I think that we have gotten it wrong. If someone says she's a feminist, it does not necessarily mean that she doesn't want a home, doesn't mean that she doesn't want a man or she doesn't want love. Leave people be things that they want to be. Let people call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. If a woman decides to be a feminist and not marry for 40 years, and on her 41st birthday she says, I want to marry, will you leave her? But you people, what you do is you start dragging the person on social media saying, after all they said that they are never going to get married. Where did the person say it? You just equate feminism and gender equality to mean I'm off men, I've hands off anything that has to do with men, and that's wrong. So I think the next time that you hear someone say she's a feminist, maybe ask her what her idea of feminism is, or what her idea of feminism means to her, before you jump into conclusions and begin to say she doesn't like men. Do you get me? Okay, now let's move on. Let me talk about the third thing I have on my mind. You see those people that you go and meet somebody that you want to borrow money, they will give you a loan. If you know what it means for someone to give you a loan, I'm not even talking about maybe because the economy is bad, Buhari regime. I'm not talking about all those things. I'm talking about even if the economy is fat and surplus, whatever makes somebody to listen to your plea and give you a certain amount of money, even if it's 1,000 naira when you are in need. Now, the respectful thing to do is to give the person back the money on the date that you have promised to. And if by any chance you are not meeting that date, what do? You call ahead and inform the person and plea to be given an extension. What a lot of you do is you just take the money and then you disappear into thin air, and when they start calling you, you start giving attitude. It's not just 1,000 naira, it's not just 5,000. No, the economy is hard. No. Whoa, you're not kill me. You will die. Sorry, I didn't mean like that, but but you know, it's not. You are an evil person. How can you take somebody's money and then you are giving the person attitude on top of it? Stop it. This is the time for you to stop it. It's that you stop, you know how to manage your finances, and you stop asking people to give you loans, soft loans, or you take people's money and return it when you are supposed to. Stop letting people chase you around for their money. It doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to say that if you do that, please stop it. Stop it, and stop it now. Stop it. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about very quickly, because if I said that I should dwell on this, we will not leave this place. I don't know if I should call it mentor and mentee relationship. So let me tie it to the thing I was talking about, feminism. So a feminist in quote was getting married recently, and there was an uproar on social media. People were saying, oh, the woman had said in the past that she doesn't want to get married, and she had, put it out on her platforms and advised young ladies in quotes that looked up to her that they should stay off marriage and maybe stay off men and blah blah blah, particularly Igbo men, because she felt like Igbo men were very traditional and misogynist basically. Now, so she said she was getting married, and a lot of people were like, what about the young ladies that refused marriage because she said marriage wasn't so good? What about the young ladies that decided not to have children because they looked up to you? And in my head I'm like, whoa, like, let's take a step back. Are there actually people that put their future on pause or do not do things that they're supposed to do because someone somewhere that they don't really know is telling them to do or not to do things? Like, are there really people like that? Okay. So I looked back and actually remember that I know quite one or two people that are like this, and I'm like, it shouldn't be so. Like, you have a mentor and the person is mentoring you based on a lot of times personal experiences of his or her own life. A lot of the time also, these people are giving you information that they got off Google or YouTube that you can also get off these platforms. These platforms are basically free and there for a reason, for you to learn, you understand? And then you make these people, in quotes, lords over you and your actions and your emotions. These people are living their own lives, but now you cannot do certain things. You definitely know that 95 you are in is not working for you, and you know that you have a passion for business, but because your mentor says stay in that 95, it's that 95 that you use to build wealth, you will stay there and you kill yourself. You keep killing yourself. Sometimes your mentor will say, don't do a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is not good. I started a business and see where I am now. You quit your 9 to 5. You go and start a business that you have no passion for. I don't understand this thing, really. I don't get it. Like, is it that people are too lazy to think or to research or to try, or to that you just put your lives in the hands of people that are trying, they're trying to live their own lives too. Everybody's trying to win this thing called life, and you are comfortable at 21. You're comfortable putting your hands into your life into the hands of somebody else and letting the person do with my life as you please. You're not afraid. Okay, if you're not afraid, continue. But I'm going to tell you that it is not the most sensible thing to do. And take out time to study your life, read a lot, research. Just you will find a balance. You will find something that you should do, and in the long run you will do what is best for you. So just pace it, relax. Relax. Don't go seeking for mentors all over, mentors on social media, mentors in your churches, mentors. Relax. Advice here and there, yeah, I get, but you know this mentor and mentee thing, it's a shaky something. If we start talk about it, we'll not leave here today. So just pace it. Now let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about now is I have to say this one. See, hiring managers and HR specialists, you guys, I feel like we keep talking about these things, but it seems like year after year, it's not really getting better. Like, I remember I had a video, I'm going to link up that video here, where I talked about my job hunting stroke employment issues in Lagos, Nigeria, and how it almost scarred me and all of that. But years after, yeah, most of those my experiences, I can't really see that okay, there's been a change or things are better. It's almost like it's getting worse. Now, so you put out a job application and you're telling people, or you put it there and you're saying lead product designer or lead tech something, and the person comes and applies for that role, and when they're having a conversation with you, that is when you make it known that the person will be the only one in that team, and the person is supposed to carry out the job or the jobs of all other team members for the salary of just one person. Does it make any sense that you want one person to do the jobs of 7 persons at the salary of 1 person? But you sugarcoat the job title, and you put lead something, team lead, kiniko, something, and then the person thinks that okay, this is a career advancement, and the person applies, and during conversations, that is when you make it known that there's no team now because the person is the team. Does it make any sense? Let us be considerate of people's times, of people's emotion. You know, put the right thing out there. If you know that this is a junior position, put it there in the job description and job title. If you know that it's a senior position, put it there. Put the amount that you want to pay, the clinical pay, put it there. Like, it doesn't hurt you to do that. And then those people that they will invite people for interview, those hiring managers, they invite people for interviews, they leave their houses, they come do 4-5 stages of interviews, and in the long run, you don't pick them, you don't send them a mail saying that you went with another candidate, you just leave them hanging. Some people are like they are like in pause, because they are on pause because they don't know, should I quit my job now? Is this job going to call me back? What should I do? Should I hold on? Blah 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 blah. You just leave them hanging in limbo, when you can just send a message and say, sorry Paul, decided to go with another candidate, we'll put you kiniko, best of luck as you kiniko. Simple. Can you, let me use the term closure now, just give these candidates closure and let them move on. Do you understand? It will not cost you anything to send a message when people have interviewed for positions and do not get the job. Yeah, let me just leave that at that. So now let me talk about Uber drivers. Yeah, I feel like people think that the only gender that has issue with Uber drivers are ladies, and honestly I don't get it, because these Uber drivers or these Bolt drivers, they are rude, they are silly, they are disrespectful. In short, they are mad. And just because some ladies do not have, like, you know, they don't have the ability to withhold their tempers the way some people would, and so they flare up and, like, you know turn it into a ruckus. It now turns to women are the ones that always have issues with Uber drivers. Have you met some of these drivers? These drivers can be mad. I was telling my friend the other day that an Uber driver, maybe a Bolt driver now, actually stood, he parked in the middle of the road and was hurling insults at the truck driver because they were trying to drag the road. And I was running late, I was going somewhere. This man didn't give a F about me, and he kept on doing what he was doing until he was satisfied, and that was when he moved the car. And I was running late. Now the other day I took a ride, and the driver halfway says, oh madam, I have to pick someone somewhere, and you have to come down. And I was wearing very high shoes in a place where it was not a landmark or a bus stop, and this guy insisted I wasn't going anymore and I should book another ride. So I don't want to say this story, I don't want to like explain further. I'm just going to say that just imagine if I decided to do something very foolish that day. of course, to be on social media, and then people will say, oh, the guy looks very calm. It was the just look at her, she looks like a troublemaker. She must be the one that must have started the whole fight. Like, so the next time you see something on social media between a lady and an Uber driver or a boat driver, take a chill pill first. Watch the video, you know, hear both sides, you know, just calm down before you open your mouth and say, oh, women are rude, and then they always find the trouble of these guys. Just calm down first. Calm down. If you look at it very well, you see that it's not be so. You understand? So the last thing I want to talk about now is how people on social media think that they have the capacity to decide how a particular set of people decide to mourn their dead. So you guys know that in recent times, like, quite a lot of public figures have died, and very sad, very sad occurrences and stuff. But when a lot of people are still trying to process the deaths of these people, you see people going to the comment section of different celebrities and on popular blogs and saying stuff like, so and so has not posted the person, so and so has not commented on the death, so and so did not attend the burial, so and so and it's always surprising me, because I'm like, who made you monitors over these people's lives? Did the wife or the husband of the deceased say, oh, ìwọ Ṣọlápé Akínpẹ̀lú, go and monitor the people that talked about my husband or my wife when they died? Did anybody give you that work? I don't understand. Why are you taking it so personal? Why are you the one that is realizing that Olamide did not post about South Sota when he died? I see all sorts on blogs, or in comment sections of blog. I see all sorts. Like, leave people to mourn however they want. Like, for real. Like, just chill. And then, okay, when they now eventually post, you now say that, when did they post about the person when the person was alive? When did they talk about the person's talent when the person was alive? When did they shake any comment when the person was alive? Now the person is dead, they are posting. Which one do you want? You that you are commenting that one person did not post, how many of your friends do you post back to back celebrating them? How many? Some of you are even so envious that you don't even celebrate your friends. Your friends don't even share good news with you, because na so beef you go dey beef. But now one popular person dies and you're the one that is saying that their friends don't celebrate them when they were alive. Like, double standards. No, they pass this one. You people chill, get busy, get a life. Like, leave other people to do what they want to do. Leave people to mourn their loss whichever way they want to. Kilo day, what's happen? The entire person. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that I dragged you. I hope you're one of those people I dragged. If I did, glory to God. I'm so happy. My mission in life has been accomplished. Thank you so much. Hallelujah to Jesus. But on a more serious note, I just hope that some of these things that you guys understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say. And you guys, if you are, you know, if you are guilty of some of these things, please, it never hurts to like change, or, you know, try to just do better small. It never hurts, you know. We learn daily. Actually, we learn daily. So yeah, let me know what you think of this video. If you loved it, let me see you say it in the comment section. Don't just love it in your heart. Drop what in the thing. Drop on the comment section. I'll catch you guys some other time, hopefully very soon, another video. Yeah, so see you guys. Bye.